everyone, this is Michelle from Tableau's social media team. I'm behind the camera, and here with me today is Ben and Brendan from our dev team, and they're here for your week 3 Web Data Connector Hackathon. As you can see, it's a gorgeous day in Seattle, so we decided to just hang out outside, and I'll be taking your questions today and moderating, so if you've got any questions throughout our chat, feel free to just send them on in. All right, you guys, take it away.
All right, great. Hey guys, Ben Lauer here. And if you're joining us for the first time, we are in the middle of a hackathon. What is a hackathon? This is where developers get together and create new things, fun things, and we're focused on building new connections to Tableau with our brand new Web Data Connector V2 that's part of our 10.0 release. So I just want to say, if you are part of the hackathon, don't forget that this Sunday, June 19th, that's the deadline for the submissions. So the deadline is 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So don't wait, we're expecting a ton of activity this weekend. We've already started seeing some connections rolling in, and it's really looking good. And again, we know everyone's waiting to the last minute, or you've been working on it and you are putting your finishing touches on there, and we're going to talk a little bit about some tips there. Also, if you're just joining us or if you forgot, if you go to tabsoft.co/hackwdc, this is the landing page for the event. You'll get all the information there. So again, tabsoft.co/hackwdc, all lowercase. So Brendan, I think you were going to talk about a question that came in this weekend.
Yeah, so...
sorry, this week.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we have this chat room. There's more information on that site where you can come in, ask questions to the developers, get any of your questions answered that you might have while you're building these connectors. We had one roll in this week that I wanted to answer for everyone right now. The question was about doing joins in Tableau. So, as you know, with the new Web Data Connector API, we have the ability to now bring back multiple tables from a web data source. And the cool thing about this is you can do whatever you want with those tables within Tableau. So you can take 2 tables, do joins like you would with other data sources. The question we had though was, is this currently working? And the answer is, not really. What happens now in the current build of Tableau product that you have with your beta is you're not actually able to do joins yet between 2 tables within the same Web Data Connector. But there is a quick workaround, and that is to use another one of our new 10.0 features called cross data source joins. So what you can do currently is you can create a Web Data Connector, bring in 1 table, and then you can go and create a second Web Data Connector connection and bring in a second table from that connection. And that way you can do a join between both your tables and your Web Data Connectors.
So just to clarify though, when you say bring in the second connection, this is actually joining to the exact same Web Data Connector both times.
Exactly.
So on the left-hand pane, you'll see, Acme Web Data Connector, whatever you called it, you'll see the tables that you brought in. Drag one of those out, then connect yet again to that same Web Data Connector. You'll see all those tables show up a second time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I forgot to say earlier, Beta 3 just dropped last week. So download that and install it. Tableau.com/getbeta. If you aren't part of our beta program, it's awesome. You're getting early access to the latest features that we're building. And unfortunately, just didn't have enough time to get this last little bit of the Web Data Connector working, but that's going to show up in a future beta. And any changes I have to make to my code for that?
No, the cool thing is, even though it's a temporary workaround, we're going to fix it soon, and you don't have to make any changes to your Web Data Connector. Same APIs, exact same code will function. You'll just have a much better user experience.
Cool. So I also wanted to say the submission deadline, there's a saying, and I definitely subscribe to this line of thinking. If you're not a little bit embarrassed when you ship, you waited too long to ship. So I mention this because I know some of you out there are going to hem and haw, and you're going to say, man, I didn't get this Web Data Connector perfect, so I'm not going to submit it. Don't wait. Whatever you have this weekend, send it in. We want to see it. We want to see what data sources you're connecting to. We want to see the data that you care about. So don't wait. Just give us what you have. Now, polish is important, so we are going to be looking at that as one of the judging criteria. And so and one of the things that I wanted to mention is I was frantically working yesterday to get one of my connectors submitted because I got to have one of those ninja patches, and I don't get one just because I'm on the team. We've told everyone on the team, you have to submit one. So one of the things I realized is I thought my connection was great because it was working in the simulator fine, but it wasn't until I pulled it into Tableau and I went to create a viz that I realized, oh man, I didn't put the right data types on a couple of my columns. I marked them as int or integers, and I didn't mark them as date times, so I didn't get the timestamps on my timeline that I was expecting. So I think that as you're working on it and you're sort of working on that final fit and finish, make a viz. Make sure things are working as you expect, because that was something that I missed only doing the work in the simulator. Any other like last minute tips on submission or?
I'd say maybe don't wait until the exact last minute. In order to submit right now, you have to go through what's called a pull request process. It's all documented up on our current beta documentation. Check it out. But if you've never done that before, it could take a few minutes to get that figured out. We're working on some solutions to that to make it a little bit easier to submit these things in the future. But just a heads up, if you've never done that process before, I give you a couple minutes to go ahead and do that.
So maybe give like a 15-second overview of what that process is going to look like if I've never done the pull request before.
Yeah, so how it looks like right now is we have this repository on GitHub that's kind of the official repository. What happens there is that as a developer, you do what's called a fork of that repository. So essentially you have your own copy of that living on your machine. You make some changes there. You're actually just going to change a single file to add your connector to the list, and then you'll basically submit that copy of the repository back to our repository through a pull request. Then we look at that pull request, say, oh yeah, this looks right, and we merge the two. And then it's going to be there live on the site.
Cool. Great. So I think that's it. Join us in the HIP chat room if you've got any questions, if you run into any issues. Don't forget, June 19th, this Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern, deadline to submit. We're then going to have another Periscope video on Tuesday, the 21st.
On next Tuesday.
And what we're going to do there is we're just going to kind of give a little behind-the-scenes look at the judges as we're reviewing all of the connections that have come in. We're not going to give away any like how are people doing or any of that, but we're just going to talk about sort of the process. And if you're interested in that, join us again on Tuesday. And then next Thursday, on the 23rd, keep your eye on the landing page. This is the link again, tabsoft.co/hackwdc. And on the landing page, we will announce the finalists. So this is on the 23rd. You're going to want to have your iPhone, your Android phone, whatever device you have, you're going to want to text all of your friends and your family. You're going to want to post this on Facebook and social media. If you're one of the finalists, you're going to try to get everyone you know, and frankly, a lot of people you don't know, you're going to want to become friends with them and get them to vote for your connection. And if you aren't submitting a connection, or if you're not one of the finalists, we still want you to come and join us and vote and select the best connections, because then the following week on June 30th, we're going to announce the winners. We've got that awesome Tableau swag package for the top 3, and then the overall winner is going to get that free pass to TC16 in Austin later this year in November. It's worth almost $1,600, so it's really an awesome prize. So with that, I think we're going to sign off for today. We'll see you on Tuesday, and again, looking forward to seeing your submissions this weekend.